Okay, so now I've covered how to make cast shadows using a directional light source like the sun, where all the light rays are parallel, right? But what if you're using an artificial light like a lamp, any kind of point light where the light is emanating from one point and these lines are not parallel? How'd you do that? Well, first thing I want to do is perspective, and unfortunately it's always going to go back to perspective for lighting, because lighting and perspective go together, especially when it comes to cast shadows. So I'm just going to make my vanishing points, and let me just let's see, what do I want to do? Going to use polygon tool to make perspective lines. And if you don't know how I'm doing this, I made a video called something like how to make quick and easy perspective lines in Photoshop, so I would just recommend looking at that video. And I'm just going to lower the opacity so I can see those lines. Now I just have a perspective grid, 2-point perspective grid. And okay, so let's say I have an object I need the shadow cast of. Let's say it's just like a post. Okay, so here's the post. This is the bottom, this is the top. Okay, now let's say I have a light source, and the light source is here. So now what I have to do is imagine that this light source is actually on a post, like a light post, and it's going to be touching the ground at some point, right? If it was like a lamp, right? So let's say it touches the ground right here. This is our post. Now, in many situations, you actually do have a case like this where, yeah, you have a pole holding up a light. That's fine. But in a case where you don't, or even in a case where you have like a light post that's like that shape, what you would want to do is go directly below that light where it hits the ground. So in that case, it would be like right there. Okay? So you just need that, where just directly below the light where it would hit the ground plane. And with the sun, that was always on the horizon because the lines are all parallel. So anyway, so now we have this light source. So now what you want to do is take a line from the bottom where this touches the ground, and it needs to go through the bottom of the your object, right? So the line goes from the bottom of the light to the bottom of your object, and that creates a line. And then you go from the light through the top of your object, and at some point it will hit this line, and there you go. So that's gonna be your cast shadow from here to here. This is describing where your cast shadow would be. So that's pretty cool, pretty useful. And let's say I had another object. Let's say I have an object here, just making some lines right now, some sticks, and maybe a stick here, and let's see, maybe one here. Okay, so now we have a few sticks. That's an ugly stick. There we go. This one's an ugly stick too. So many ugly sticks. All right. So yeah. So because it's the same thing. So go from the bottom of the light to the bottom of your object. Maybe I can make that longer just in case. For each of these, we're not going to go above the horizon. That wouldn't make sense. And then from your light through the top, and then it's going to touch at a point. Do that again. That wasn't very good. There we go. Goes through here, hits at a point, and goes through the top here, and that's going to go out of the page. So don't worry about that one, but for these ones, the cast shadow is going to be here and here. So that's it. That's how you, and this one, yeah, it goes out the page, so don't worry about that one. But that's how you do it.